Nets just got beat like they were the ugly redheaded stepchild by the Milwaukee Bucks. The Nets are facing a whole bunch of problems from a whole bunch of different players, coaches, schemes, what have you. We're going to get right into it, but before we do, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're coming to trying to bring you guys good content every day. And with that being said, Drew, go ahead and give us your immediate reactions. What do you think about the Nets dropping the ball big time against the Bucks tonight?
I mean, you said it yesterday in the Kyrie Irving video. The roads run through Milwaukee, and they proved it tonight. I don't think they could have done a better job. The Bucks played a complete game. They look great. They have guys stepping up. Bobby Portis, dude, the Nets had no answer for him. Bobby Portis over here, he's dunking the ball. Oh, he missed a dunk, but he's hitting threes. He's playing great defense, stripping Kevin Durant, stripped James Harden. He's just doing everything, getting rebounds. He played a great game. That's the difference between a great team like the Bucks and a potentially great team like the Nets, right? But you talked about it yesterday. The Nets, outside of the big three, and Kyrie Irving didn't even play tonight, where does the scoring come from? Where does the playmaking? Kevin Durant, James Harden are your playmakers. That's it. You got to have more players on the floor that have the confidence and the ability to take a guy one-on-one and make a play for the team. And the Nets just don't have that. I think Nicholas Claxton played okay. He's showing signs of potential. They just got to keep him healthy. I think he's really good and mobile big for the Nets. Other than that, though, James Harden, he's over here looking like Russell Westbrook turning the ball over. He looks out of control on drives. And it is the weirdest thing. I'll see him, he'll get the ball, and it's like it takes him like 5 seconds to make a decision whether he wants to ISO or move the ball around. It's like you see him, he'll catch the ball, he'll like do a triple threat, and you'll think he's about to do an ISO, and then he'll just pass it off, and like, bro, you're just wasting seconds off the shot clock.
Exactly. Yes.
And then the Bucks, Giannis did everything you expect Giannis to do. It was just a weird game. It wasn't a very good game. This is a game that everyone was looking forward to. Nationally televised game. The Brooklyn Nets at their home stadium just got embarrassed in front of national television, and this could be the preview of how the playoffs are going to go for the Nets.
Yeah, the Nets are in big, big trouble. Like you mentioned, James Harden played terrible. He looks indecisive with the ball. Like you said, he's dribbling up, he's picking up his handle when he doesn't know what he wants to do with it, and it's just wasting time off the shot clock. And the Nets offense tonight just had a terrible time trying to get the ball rolling. They couldn't get the ball in the net. They couldn't buy a bucket. They couldn't hit the wide side of a barn. James Harden was terrible. He stepped it up a little bit in the third quarter, but to me, it was just so obvious what he was going to do when he got the ball. He was going to drive in, and it looked like everybody on the Bucks knew that. But the Nets bench didn't play well. Patty Mills did not have a good game. Claxton, he played better in the second half, but still, it's not going to be enough from these guys. If you want to be a true contender in the East, you got to find some pieces quickly that are going to fit with this Nets team, because I honestly don't think James Harden's the answer. It doesn't surprise me now that Kevin Durant was so elated when Kyrie Irving comes back, because Kyrie Irving's a guard who knows how to get his teammates open. When James Harden gets the ball, I want to hold my breath. The only other player I do that with in the NBA is Russell Westbrook, like you said. It is terrible watching him play. He's indecisive, doesn't know what to do. And on the defensive end, other than a steal or two he might get, James Harden is not playing defense. The whole Nets team as a whole is defensively is bad. And we knew they were bad coming into this game, but if they want to make a run in the playoffs, they're going to have to step it up. The East has some really good teams. The 76ers are good. The Bucks just beat the shit out of them. And the Chicago Bulls are the number one team in the East right now. The Nets don't match up well against any of these teams, and defensively, they're not good enough to stop them. The only guy tonight who played defense, in my opinion, was Kevin Durant, and he got in foul trouble early due to a couple of bad calls, but you can't rely on Kevin Durant to play defense and get you 40 points a game and get you 7 assists with 10 rebounds. It's not going to happen. The Nets are in serious trouble.
And this is another thing we talked about in last night's video. When you go from playing with a guy like Kyrie Irving, and then the next game you're playing without him, you can't get a rhythm, and you saw it tonight. The offense just looked terrible for the Nets, no rhythm. And if they can't get that figured out, and it's going to be very difficult to do, this is what you're going to see when they run into some tough opponents. Tough opponents that have playmakers. They have tough opponents that have bench players that can come in and make plays to their team. They're just not going to be able to keep up. So the Nets have to find some answer, and I don't think it's going to happen where they got to find guys that can just step up for their team, because Kyrie Irving, he is a superstar. You can't ever just replace a superstar if he goes out. But it takes time. You have to give the other guys a chance. And when Kyrie Irving's out, the other guys are not getting the ball. They're not going to get the confidence, and they're not going to have that ability to make a play for their team because they're just kind of standing around. So the Nets are in trouble. The Nets probably not finals contenders. Hell, they're probably not even making it to the second round of the playoffs. I'd be very surprised unless they could find things to turn it around.
Another big issue with me for the Nets is their coach Steve Nash. The Bucks are out here going on runs, and the Nets can't buy a bucket. And Steve Nash isn't doing anything about it. He's not calling timeouts. He's not subbing players in or out. He's not doing anything to change the flow of which the game is going. The Bucks had the momentum from the first bucket of the game, and they rode it through the whole game. And Steve Nash didn't make any coaching adjustments or try and ice the Bucks in any way the whole game. So I think honestly, it might be time for us to start judging Steve Nash as a coach. He has Kevin Durant, James Harden, and granted Kyrie hasn't played this season, but he has stars on this team. And even last season when Blake Griffin just got there and they had DeAndre Jordan and he was playing, there was huge aspirations for this team, and they have underdelivered coming on 2 seasons now with Steve Nash being the coach. So with that said, I don't think Steve Nash is the answer.
I don't think he is either, and it takes a special coach with a great system to be able to fit all the superstars play styles together so they can mesh together as a team. And Steve Kerr, great coach. You see what he was able to do with his superstars. But we've seen this before when you get superstars together. Look at the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers have a bunch of big names, a lot of great players, but they just don't mesh together, and it takes a special coach and a special system to get them all together and work as a team and to be successful. But that's pretty much it, guys. In case you're wondering how bad of a game it was, we're doing this video, and there's like 5 minutes left in the Bucks-Nets game. That's how uncompetitive it was. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you for the support you've shown us the past couple days. We've been getting a lot of likes, a lot of subscribers, and a lot of people engaging with us in the comment section. We really appreciate that. Please feel free to leave a comment about this video and what the problem with the Nets is and what they could possibly do to get ready for the playoffs and have a successful run. But that's it, guys. We'll catch you on the next video. See you.